Going live.
Mm.
Need to get some intro music going or something.
Yeah, I think you do.
You know, I gotta. There's a lot of stuff I gotta figure out with this, but
Yeah, we'll work on it.
I got to get to Joe Rogan level. It's just gonna take he's been doing it for what, like 12 years or something. Yeah, so it's gonna take me a while.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I think we are good. Sweet. Good job, technology. The one time you haven't failed me in the last 24 hours. Sweet. All right. Hey, everybody. How's it going? I am here with Jared and Megan Braud. Definitely do not call them Jared and Megan Braud because that will bring up a host of unpleasant memories for Megan, those of which cannot be divulged in a Facebook Live interview, but that's just a fair warning. Okay. And I have them on because there's some people I admire because I know that they're good family people. They're doing what they're doing to support their families. They love their kids. They got twin girls. And how old is your son now?
He's 14 months. He just
What?
made
I didn't know
Yeah.
he made a year already. I mean, wow, he's well over a year. Goodness gracious.
A little bit.
Yeah, he's still not walking. But the girls did this. My kids have completely like zero intrinsic motivation. And like we ended up having to put the girls in physical therapy at 18 months, and then boom, they were walking and running at the same time. And so
But he crawls like nobody's business, man.
oh my gosh, he's halfway across the house in like 4 seconds. Yeah.
Okay. See, my oldest was like that. She was about 15 months before she really started walking, but she's just such a chill kid.
Yeah.
You do that thing where it's like you'll leave a toy across the room, right? And you'll see if they'll go get it. And then like you'll take the kid and put him across the room, like, okay, go walk to your toy. And she used to be like, I'll just live without it and just lay there on the floor.
I'll just
And
play
then
with Dust Bunny over here instead. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
And,
Yep, that's our kid.
I'm like playing fetch with him. Like if I want him to get away, I'm like, hey, go get it. And he's like,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. We'll tell you what. So thank you, first of all, thank you for your time. I know you guys are parents of young kids just like me. So I guess I didn't think about it really, but convincing parents of young kids to talk about what they do for a living at 8:30 at night is probably not the wisest idea.
It's
but
also the only time we have. So
I was about to say, yeah. So if we're going to do it, that's about all we got.
Yeah.
We got till about 11 o'clock when they wake up and come in our room. So
Okay. Well, there you go. No harm, no foul, right?
Yeah.
Are y'all ready for Christmas and all that?
We are. The twins stayed at my parents' house this past Saturday night, so that Santa's elves could get some things put together.
It's exciting actually, because now that they're almost 4, they're starting to understand a little better. So the gifts are a little bit more
detailed.
Yeah.
So, they're actually asking for stuff and like things that we can actually get them. I mean, we cannot get them a unicorn. Oh, that's my food alarm. We can't get them a unicorn like they've asked for, but there are some other things that they've asked for.
They've asked for an excavator.
Right. We can't get them an excavator.
Like the big one or like a toy?
Tractor.
We had an excavator behind the house a few months ago for like some cleanup, and it sat there overnight. And I told her, I said, man, we just need to hijack. We should have taken advantage of it.
I think they thought it was theirs. They still ask about it.
Well, they always think everything's theirs, right? That they see.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, so for everyone that's watching, you wouldn't be able to tell this from Jared's amazing beard that he has, but he actually does not have a profession in beard management. Although he probably could. He might want to look into that. So why don't you guys tell us, or at least modeling, right? Why don't you guys tell us what you do and, give us some background, maybe a brief personal history, talk about yourselves, what you do, and, why you're doing it and everything like that.
Well, it started on a nice cold winter day.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Actually, we met. So just a real quick story about us. We met officially at Southeastern in college in a painting class, and in 2006.
Drawing class.
Drawing. I remember what she was wearing. Okay.
I don't even
And
remember.
we had met because I had done, it's called Net Ministries, and I think her sister had previously done it. So we had talked briefly, and then we didn't see each other again for 4 years. And
Because
then,
I went and served as
right,
a
she
missionary
served
with
as well.
Net.
And then 2010, we
Oh, really?
all
Wow.
got, yeah. So in 2010, we all got together as like a little Louisiana alumni gathering with the ministry, and saw each other again.
Nothing
And then
happened.
nothing happened. And then
4 years later.
4 years later, it was a 4 year thing. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Wow. Right.
And
Yeah.
messaged her on Facebook, you know, and said happy birthday and how was it? And she's like, oh, it was great. How was it for you? You know, and so from there
Hit it off.
it's history.
Yep.
But I was working in television news. At that point, I worked in that for 12 years as a graphic artist. More so of like 3D art, and then
Okay.
designing some of the graphics for the newscast. And then I left that back in 2018 after 12 years because the environment was
Wow,
just
really?
really tough.
12
Uh,
years, huh?
yeah, and then
Yeah.
the schedules, you know, news never sleeps. And so I have a vision impairment, and so with driving, at the time I had stopped driving at night, and then
Oh,
altogether
wow.
2 years ago I stopped driving completely. But we just felt I needed to get a job that was a little more set during the day and the hours. So now I work for Louisiana State Retirement System.
Oh, okay.
So
Do you know
And
a guy named Artie Filastri by any chance?
yes, I work at lasers. Yeah. So
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm friends with him too, obviously, but I'm real good friends with his brother, Andre.
okay.
Yeah.
that's
Cool.
Who
awesome.
also is a Broadmoor alumni. So,
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wait, what's his name?
Andre, he was probably gone before you got there, though.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
If anything, it was probably
Well,
like a
Artie,
senior when I got
Artie
there.
looks. I'm not saying older, but old. I mean, he looks like an older kind of gentleman. I don't know.
You are
Don't
live
listen,
on
Artie.
Facebook. Okay.
A good older looking gentleman, you know.
Right. All right, Megan, give us your background.
Yeah, so for me, I did not actually get my degree in art, although it brought me my husband.
Worked out, right?
Right, it was good. It was good. I eventually went and got my degree in Catholic theology and wrote it off as like, hey, this is my backup plan. I want to be a stay-at-home mom, and this is my backup plan. So if something were to ever happen to my husband, like, this is what I have. Like, I can always do something. And I spent a few years in that field. I worked at our parish as director of music and director of religious education. At one point, I taught for a year at the school, which I will never go back to teaching. It takes a very, very
Yes,
special person to be a teacher.
absolutely.
Like, seriously, they are heroes to me. I will never do it again in my life. I'm just not that organized. I'm just not.
Which is why they should probably get paid a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, so within that time, we were actually struggling with getting pregnant due to my health. I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, which also has insulin resistance tied to that, and hypothyroidism.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
my doctor was just very honest with me, and he was like, I can only do so much. I need you to do your part and get healthy. So I joined a health program. I lost the weight that I needed to, got myself very healthy. And after hitting my goal, 6 months later, we got pregnant with twins, all natural. So
That's awesome.
disclaimer, it's, hereditary in my family. It's not from the program. So,
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what brought me here as a health coach. Only a few months after I started my program, it just became very evident to me that this could be my path to becoming a stay-at-home mom. And I'd always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I told him when we were dating, I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And he was like, sure.
I mean, I wasn't exactly making the greatest money. So, I'm like,
Right.
I don't want to put ourselves in that position.
Yeah.
Right.
And we saw this as like a 5-year plan. Maybe I could get home. But we were able to see just how great it kind of matched me, like really love being in this role. And so our business was able to grow to a place where I could come home.
Absolutely.
A lot
I
sooner.
think that speaks volumes because she She likes to talk. And she's a very social butterfly. So with this, it's like she was meant for this. Like God had prepared her, to be in this role at this time, because she really gets to love on people and empathize with them. And so I think it's so great. She's not just a stay-at-home mom. She's an entrepreneur, and
Right.
people
A
really,
mompreneur is what they call us.
helping people really feel good about themselves, through this program.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. And a couple things I'm thinking about while you were talking. So you lived it, right? You lived the problem, and you lived, with your health issues and your weight. And what's inspirational is that you were able to find a solution. And as also someone who struggled with my weight for a long time, there's sometimes the advice that you hear everybody say, like, oh, you just need to eat less, or you just need to cut out the cokes, or you just need whatever, blah, 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 blah. Everybody has an opinion, right? So you are able to provide a solution to people who may have gotten either bad advice in the future, or I'm sorry, in the future, that'd be terrible. Right? So bad advice from the past, or, maybe they've struggled for so long and they just need somebody like you to, to come alongside them. And, you have that compassionate heart to guide them in the right direction. And you are able to, I guess, present that solution in a way that they can receive it. So that's
Yeah.
pretty awesome to me. And, what's also awesome is, you wanted to do it for your family. You wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, for your kids, but also you wanted to, make sure Jared wasn't working 6 jobs either, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right, because it's always good to have dad around. So that's just really cool. It's really cool that you were able to do that. And also, Jared, I really agree with you. That God opened that door for you to do that. So that's really awesome, and it fit your talents and your experiences really well. So that's
Yeah,
really cool.
thanks. Yeah. And it was an inspiration to me when I was able to see my health coach blossom. Like she and I both graduated with our degrees in Catholic theology together. And I just remember, honestly, I remember seeing her come to my wedding, and we hadn't seen each other in a while. She was my best friend, and our lives had just kind of gone in different directions naturally,
Right.
And I remember her coming to my wedding, and I was like, I'm sorry.
Who are you?
Who are you, and why are you looking that adorable and healthy? And I'm like trying to fit into this wedding dress, and
Yeah.
and so, I mean, obviously it took a little while for me to reach out to her. But it was really nice to see her blossom into herself.
Yeah.
And to still see her blossom into who she is. It gave me a lot of confidence,
Yeah. So how long have you been doing that now?
So I've been a health coach now for 5.5 years.
Okay.
This is the longest I've ever held a job.
I
Seriously, I couldn't hold one app for like longer than a year. I would just like, I'm done with this. Bye.
Yeah.
And so this is the longest I've held a job.
But I think it's because you always knew that what you were doing before was just
it just wasn't me, and that's okay.
You knew it wasn't.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's okay to try different things, and you do things for different reasons, and sometimes maybe the money's worth it, so you stay, or maybe you find your dream job somewhere else, or or like you found something that in an area that you're passionate about and that fits your abilities and your skill set. So yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, so what are some of the challenges that you guys have faced getting a home-based business off the ground?
I would say for me, a lot of it has been having the confidence that I can do this. I think just growing up in a blue collar home in South Louisiana, everyone's in air conditioning and refrigeration in our home,
or the chemical plant, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, it's just so like, this is just kind of like the lid on top of the jar. You just kind of like have this level that you feel, okay, this is where we're at. And so I actually had to work through a lot of overcoming that and really like snapping the lid off and feeling like I can go as high
That's
as I
really good,
want. I
Megan.
can become the person that I dream to be. I don't have to limit myself just because like this is the type of lifestyle or home that I grew up in. And we actually had a like a leadership coach recently who actually invited me. He was like, I want you to go to your parents and I want you to ask permission to build a life bigger than theirs. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like, and he was like, really? Because you're allowing their the life that they built to limit you.
Right.
And I did. And my mom's like, yeah, as long as I get a mother-in-law suite, like I don't care, you
I'm
know?
about to say, so you can take care of us when you get rich, right?
Yeah, exactly. Sure, mom, whatever, you know.
Well, I
So
think what that says is not that the lives that they built for themselves is bad
right.
or any lesser.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah.
but it's you know I grew up with both my parents working at the same place, 9 to 5 for the last 40 years.
They're
They've had the
still
same.
there.
They're still there. And
Wow.
there, but I was limited to that and in a way that like for us to explore so like we're limited by what our parents did because like we're limiting ourselves on what could be for us,
Yeah.
so it's not that it's any better or any worse.
Yeah.
It's how do we say, okay, I don't necessarily need to follow the same path. I need to explore what is God calling me to, and and I have to let go of these limitations.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that y'all hit a big nail on the head there, and that was actually one of my inspirations for doing Kingdom Gold was no one ever told me I could be a business owner. No one ever told me, I could do anything. The only thing I was ever told was, son, you got to go to college. You got to get your education, and it was either doctor, lawyer, engineer. And doctor and lawyer was way too much school for me, so engineer was the only path I had, right?
Right.
But that was all I was told, and there's a whole nother world out there. And just like you said, Jared, it's not like that it's like my parents' fault that they didn't teach me. It's not like I blame anybody for that, but they just didn't know.
Yeah.
And what I think is cool about people like you and people like me is that our kids are going to know, hey, there's so much more out there for you. And whenever you hit 18, 21, whatever, where I have gotten you is going to be a platform that I expect you, not in a bad way, right?
Right.
you know
Exceed. Like
yeah,
like go above where I've even been able to go.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
this is your base. Okay, this is your, do not descend past this level, but I am fully expecting you, and I have enabled you and equipped you, and I will be cheering you on as you rise to levels that I cannot even achieve. So it's going to be really cool, like seeing what your daughters do and your son and what my daughters do, and heck, maybe they'll be business partners one day. Who
Yeah.
knows, right? But that's cool. That's the whole point of doing this, is
Yeah.
to wake people up that there's more possibilities than what you've been told. And when I got started doing my stuff with the silver and gold, I actually got told, well, you don't know anything about running a business, or you don't know anything about advertising or marketing, or you don't know anything about gold and silver. Why are you doing this? You're an idiot, that type of thing. And so my start wasn't the best, okay, but that inspired me. It's like, you know what, I'm gonna let people know that they can do better than what they've known, and that there's a whole nother world out there, and that you're not limited by what you've seen your parents do or what your uncle's done. You do you. Live
Yeah.
exactly what you said, Jared. Live the life that God intended for you. So it's cool to see you guys doing that as well. And I'm inspired by it for sure, because I know it's not easy. Um, so yeah, so good job.
Thanks. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay.
So do you guys like work your business together at home, or is it kind of like Megan's thing and then Jared's thing? And so if you work together on it, like what are some challenges with that? And if you work it separately, what are some challenges doing it? Or I guess advantages and disadvantages really. How do you guys handle that?
Yeah. So the business is basically like I'm the face, I'm the business right here. As far as our health coaching business. Um Jared plays a huge role in this business. He, like, without him, this business could not run. And basically that's because he steps in as Mr. Mom for a lot of stuff. So like when I'm on health assessments in the evening or trainings or anything, like if I just need to come into the office and get some stuff done after he gets home from work, like he becomes Mr. Mom. He's cooking dinner. There's like 1 or 2 meals that he really knows how to cook, but they're really good.
Ooh, what are they? You got to tell us now.
Yeah.
Meatballs and green beans.
Okay, seriously, meatballs and green beans
and chicken
in
and
the
broccoli
skillet is like super good. Like you
Yeah.
cook those green beans down really soft and it's so good.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
It's really good.
The thing about the side excerpt, the thing about cooking something so simple as green beans and meatballs is that I've learned to master it because it's the one thing I know how to do. Whereas if I tried to cook 100 different things every day,
right,
I wouldn't be a master at all those things. I would just be some
mediocre
lacking jack of trade, of all trades or whatever.
I don't eat mediocre here. Okay. Right.
But she, this is her baby, and I'm there to help her. Not that like I don't want to be like I want to be a part of it. I do, we do work some where we'll talk about things and stuff like that. But like she said, it took us a while to realize, but being Mr. Mom, stepping up into being a Mr. Mom, in the evenings when needed is working that business, because
absolutely.
It's not just Megan's going to work the business and I'm just taking care of the kids. No, we realize, okay, it's a partnership. I mean, our marriage is a partnership. So whatever we
absolutely
do, she doesn't know anything about retirement benefits, but yeah, I still talk with her about it.
I still don't really know what he does at all.
Right.
He tries to hold conversations and I'm like, okay, I don't understand any of those numbers at all. I don't get what you're talking about. But that is something too that I find he really helps out with is it really helps because he crunches numbers for our personal finances for our home. Like that all spills into our business as well. And so that's something that he contributes to our business as well.
But we do it jointly together, because that's what our family is our business. Oh, first, like above all, our family is our business. Optavia, our program and Louisiana State Retirement, those things provide incomes into our household business and family, but like we do things together. That's how we see it. We're not separate. We do things jointly. We talk about things. So
right.
I think it's important with doing a business, self-employment business, talking about what she does, to be in it together, because it doesn't need to be the proverbial, okay, mom does this, dad does this, nobody talks about it, we don't know, and they're all separate or whatever. They come home and they see each other and nobody knows anything. No, our family is a business itself, and we make sure that we're in tune with different things, even if we don't understand 100%.
Yeah. And you were asking about like advantages and disadvantages to like what we do. I would say, the advantages, there's tons of advantages, obviously. But advantages, first and foremost, being a health coach on the health program that I personally utilize every day. This is just what our family knows. He utilizes aspects of the program as well, obviously not to lose weight, but to get in enough calories to keep his weight, which is great. But this is our lifestyle, and this holds me accountable. I need accountability. Not just from my health coach, but I need accountability. And being a health coach, I can't coach with a phone in one hand and a Snickers bar in the other. Like, I'm just not that kind of person, So this holds me accountable. for my personal health journey.
That's
Also
really good.
just the freedom to be available to my family. Like, I love bringing my girls to and from school. I mean, it's sometimes it can feel like a headache when they call and they're like, so and so, Genevieve has a fever, or Jocelyn fell off, whatever, and maybe they need to be picked up. But I love the fact that I can just drop what I'm doing
Right.
and go get my kids, be here. And I mean,
There's no sick or vacation time, you can,
right. I can
uh,
just up and I can bring my business with me anywhere. We go
Yeah.
to my aunt has a camp at Grand Isle, and we go to Grand Isle all the time, and I can just bring it with me. And I know that sounds really strange. Like, why is she okay with bringing her work with her on vacation? But it's because this is something that fits into that, like a
Right.
vacation time, like and I'm not taking it with me in a sense of like I'm scheduling all these calls or on purpose during vacation, but the fact that I can keep tabs and keep an eye on my business while
Absolutely.
I'm anywhere. And if I need to jump on the phone, like I can, and it's great. So just being able to create my own hours is great. The freedom to build my income. It's limitless. Like, I don't have to beg for a raise. It's on me though.
Yeah.
Like, it's about my work. Am I putting work into this? Am I putting myself into this? Am I dedicating time? What I put into it is what I'm going to get out of it. But the fact that it's limitless, I'm not
Right.
like limited on how much income I can make. And no one's really controlling my day or my time when it comes to work, but the disadvantages are very similar. Disadvantages are time flexibility. Sometimes I just really have to be flexible with other people's times, in the sense of being
Right.
available to our team when they need something, especially in different time zones, being available to clients or potential clients, people who are, asking about the program. Maybe this is the only time they have is at 8:30 at night.
Right.
And, and that's fine, because it's not every single day. It's not
Right.
every single night. Um, and you know what? No one's telling me what to do every day, which is great. But at the same time, I really have to be responsible, and I have to like set these hours and put in the work and put my big girl panties on every day and be
Right.
like, I'm going to do it. I have
Yeah.
to motivate myself. I'm not motivated by like the fear of losing a job. Like I have to motivate myself. And although like our income is, like, the possibilities are limitless, again, it's my responsibility to put in the work to increase that.
and
Right.
that I think is one of the toughest things. And I bring that point up because everybody worries about their income, you know, and we, as much as we don't like to admit it, money is a very important thing in this world. It's not bad. It's just what it is, but it's become this very scary thing.
Right.
And at first, like, I still do it. It's good you control it, but it's also a roller coaster sometimes because it just depends on how good or bad the month is, and with clientele and people, wanting to get healthy and start their journey, and stuff like that. So it can be scary, but it is also worth it. It's just the balance that you have to have
Mhm.
with all of these advantages and disadvantages, is learning to find a balance on that scale so that you grow as a person and as a business,
Right.
and move forward.
So do you think you've hit your stride with well, I'm gonna back that up just a little bit. So everything you said, 100% agree with. So so what you're talking about with the discipline and the balance, okay? I've learned pretty quickly that that is a challenge, right? And especially depending on what the family has going on and the time of the year and just whatever happens. Sometimes the time flexibility hurts because if the dishwasher breaks, then you still it's not like you can't deal with it later, or you can deal with it later, right? It's like, dang it, I have to do it right now. That type of stuff. So how do you feel like how do you feel like you're doing balancing the discipline and the accountability and the flexibility. How do you feel like you're dealing with that now, 5 years into it, versus how you were dealing with it, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years into it? Like, do you feel like you're just kind of, steadily, well, I don't want to say coasting, because that, like, steadily progressing, like it's no problem, or do you feel like it's still kind of a roller coaster type thing?
If I look back 5.5 years ago at starting this business, it was so cute. Like, it was so cute. When we started this, I wasn't even, like, we didn't have any kids. It was just the two of us. I was still working
Just
full
the two
time.
of us.
Yeah. And it was just so cute. Like, it was really cute how, like, I just kind of worked it into the nooks and crannies of my day when I was driving to and from my work, just with this small little side hustle. But it did not take long before this side hustle became like, this is more than
The
a
main
hustle
hustle,
here. Like,
yeah.
I'm really hustling. Like, and it became the size where I was like, okay, I'm ready to come home. And I think at that point, that was when everything kind of started shifting. It was the same summer we bought our first home. It was the same summer we found out we were pregnant with the twins. So literally just from the moment of becoming a mother, beginning a pregnancy with them, I became a stay-at-home mom in that sense, a businesswoman at home.
Yeah.
And I think at that point there was a big shift of, wow, like this is really not just a side hustle anymore. And not only is it like for just me and him, like we're bringing 2 kids in at one time. Like, one is enough, but like
One
2
is
in at
plenty,
one
yeah.
time, pretty big. And we had about 9 months to figure that out, or less, because it's twins here, you just never
Right.
know. So we had 37 weeks to to get that in place. And what I have discovered over the past few years is discipline grows. It is one of those, like, okay, we're slowly progressing over time, but it's going to come in different seasons. So there's challenging seasons, and then there's seasons where you're like, this is too easy. What's going on? The calm before the storm, like something's about to happen here.
Right. You're just
Um,
waiting for, like, there it
yeah,
is. I knew.
yeah. I know what you're doing here, Lord. But in those times, it's like, okay, we got to soak in as much as we can right now, because when that storm does come, and it's going to come, we want to have built up all the skills that we need, all the discipline that we need, all the motivation that we need to really push us through that time.
Yeah.
And things like, right now, our toddlers are almost 4 years old. They are super clingy to mommy right now. They are up a few times in the night, sleeping on the floor in our room, whatever it takes. My son is totally a mama's boy. And so it is a lot. It is a lot on me, but we're trying. It's not 100% perfect. Honestly, we don't have it all figured out, but we try really hard.
Let's talk about that just a second, because what I've also come to realize is that nobody has it 100%. And, the success stories you see of people or on TV or whatever, they don't have it 100% at all. But the trick is you keep going, even though it's not perfect, and you keep working when it's not perfect. And, when you're tired and you had a bad day, to still keep going and to still keep working. And, especially with kids, you guys know this, you don't get off days, right? And it's kind of like that with a business, you don't really get an off day. Exactly what you're saying, like vacation, it's almost a detriment to you if you don't look at it every day, because then you miss something, right?
Right.
So I'm glad you said that, because really nobody has it 100% nailed down, and if they do, their kids are probably like chewing on an electrical socket somewhere.
Absolutely, which means they don't have it 100%.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, they're just lying to themselves.
Right.
but yeah, and one thing that I've, I guess figured out is, first of all, every season is changing. So when I feel like I've got something down pat and like this is working, like this schedule works and like these times in my business work, which I have office hours in a sense, like I set office hours. They don't always, work perfectly every day, but like I at least try,
Right.
but like when I feel like it's just, this is working out so great, easily just opening my eyes the next day, things can look very different. And whatever was working yesterday, it just may not work now. And so I'm going to have to be flexible to just transition that, and, working the little pieces of my business in the small little nooks and crannies of my day, if it's like we have the girls playing outside with the bubble machine. Oh my gosh, today it was like bubbles galore going out of this new bubble machine we have. That works really well. Like for me to just sit back and start sending out messages and checking messages, like little things like that, that don't take a whole lot of brain power, because this mom brain, I can only capitalize to like a certain point at every moment, like, but then those large tasks that I have, maybe these longer phone calls, or maybe it's, scheduling a call with someone who's interested in hearing about the program, or maybe scheduling a call with a coach underneath us that, working on their business. Those are things that I'm going to set a specific time aside for, maybe during nap time, right? Like when I have a good hour and a half of like solid quiet.
Or 8:30 at night.
Or 8:30 at night.
And it doesn't mean that they're, every now and then there isn't some, okay, if somebody really can't, we can see about being a little flexible,
Yeah.
But it's about trying to keep a general set of those hours too, so that our time is valuable. I mean, it is, our time is valuable as well, especially with our family. But it like she was saying about the seasons changing. It's kind of like organizing your desk or a closet. You're like,
you trying to say something about my desk right now? It's
it's
pretty bad. Yeah.
Because the desk is in the anyways, you organize, and you're like, all right, man, I feel good. It's all clean. I'm ready to go. Got all my pens right here in this cup. I've got all my papers stacked up nice. I got this organized. It's going to be like that forever. Wrong. Because something will happen and it will get out of shape, even if you think,
because your toddlers come in and they start drawing all over your papers. And
so if you sit there and think, I think the thing is that we all get stuck in this, oh, this is how it's always going to be, for good and for not so good. And that when it's good, it's good, like, or when it's where we want it to be, we're fooling ourselves, and God's going to come in there and say, when it's not so good, we're fooling ourselves, and God's going to say, trust me.
Right.
Okay. Because, you can either sit on the couch all day and be like, okay, this is how it's going to be. Or you're going to be like, you know what, this sucks, and that's okay, but I'm going to keep pushing forward, and it's going to get better. And that's the thing. Everything, life changes, whether things are going good or whether they're not going so good, it's going to change.
Yeah, that's really good.
Gotta do your part to get through those things.
Yeah. Mental agility is a skill that, I kind of had to learn a little bit quickly, I guess, over the past few years, but exactly what you're saying, not losing track and not getting, or I guess maybe a better way to say that for me is not getting too terribly far off track before realizing like, hey, I need to get back on course.
Exactly.
And exactly what you said, Jared, like even in the good times, making sure that you're, because the discipline thing, right? Like, oh, things are great, I can just relax, things will take care of themselves. No. And then comes the bad times because you weren't disciplined, right? And then when you get back disciplined and you start doing the things you need to do again, then you're back to center. That mental agility thing is key, and it's tough to do, right? All right, so next question. Who were some of your big influencers, inspirations, people you might have looked up to, what have you, and why why are they your inspiration, or why do you have them and fit that category?
So for me, I think my biggest influencer, especially in this, when it comes to just being a mompreneur in this business,
See,
is
that it's y'all have an advantage over us, because dadpreneur just doesn't
I know,
have
right?
the same ring
sorry.
to it. It's just a little weird, but yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, the BP don't.
We deserve it, okay?
Because you got the.
No argument here at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my biggest influencer is my health coach, Maria.
Good job, Maria.
Yeah, right. Again, she and I have been extremely close friends for a long time now, and got each other through college. And I not only have been highly influenced by her through her health journey, but also as a mompreneur, just as a mom boss, like as this woman who, she has built this amazing business and just continues to pour into us, like continues to pour into me personally, and then to pour into our business. And like, it's amazing to see what she's so capable of. And for me to see, like, I'm capable of that, like,
Yeah,
because she's
good.
doing it, like I can do it. So I just always try to keep an eye on her at all times, because I know that there's going to be something that I can just grab and be like, oh, that was good. Like, I need that.
Right.
So she's amazing. She's been through so much, and it's just, I feel so honored that I get to watch her go through all that and just kind of have like a firsthand experience. Another level of our mentorship, I would say, is a huge inspiration to us. Sam and Harold Prestonbach are our next level of mentorship in our business. And they have just created this amazing, I don't know, just level of freedom in their lives, and the family that they are building through this, like not only, again, pouring into all these businesses below them, but just the parents that they are. It's amazing to watch them with their kids. And they have a lot of financial freedom and growth, but they don't, like, they're just simple people to just hang out with. And I think that that's what I love, is that although we see them a few levels above us in business wise, they just love people, and they come down to us, they meet us where we're at, and they've never stopped pouring into us as well.
I think they do it. I think one of the great qualities of them is that it's like, I guess you would call it tough grace, because they are very graceful in how they relate their words. They're also not afraid to be a little tough, because it's not about being the nice person. It's about, okay, I'm going to challenge you.
Right.
I'm not saying it I'm not saying anything to minimize you or to bring you down, but
To
I'm
challenge
saying it
you,
to challenge you, and it's just such poise and grace that
you just feel the love behind it. Like it's so great how they can challenge us. And sometimes, maybe coming from other people, it might feel, painful,
Right.
but they do it in such an amazing way of really helping people feel loved. And it makes me feel like, yeah, I want that challenge. You're right. Like, I can hear it from you.
Yeah.
And that's really good.
Well, you'll have to give them my information. Maybe I can do an interview with them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Actually,
awesome.
you go look up their page. They're title themselves the
Freedom Parents. Yeah.
So,
okay, cool.
Really awesome. Yeah.
They're awesome.
I know one other person for her is the creator of the program itself, founder, this Dr. Wayne Anderson, who is really just not just with his personality, but just somebody who said, you know what, I'm tired of just putting band-aids on sick people. I want to help people, not just physically, but all around. And I think that's what's so amazing about just being part, coaching with that, is because it's not just this one and done transformation, or even just of somebody's like physical nature. It is the whole thing.
The whole
Like,
person, yeah.
you are not right if you don't get your body, your mind, and just
your finances.
I mean,
They all tie together, and that's what Dr. A has taught us, is that we are not in this just to get into our skinny jeans. Like, I can't, because you know what, styles change, and those skinny jeans are going to be thrown away, and we're going to have whitewashed jeans again, right? I mean, it's just, you never know. So I can't tie this just to fitting into something, or whatever. I have to transform up here. And when I do that, then I'm going to start seeing that have an effect on other parts of my life as
Be
well.
transformed by the renewing of your mind, right?
I think it's the whole, you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. You teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. And if we don't transform ourselves as a whole, other than just focusing on just purely the physical or the mental or the financial, you're going to crash and burn. You have to
No doubt.
have a full transformation, spiritually, everything.
Well, it sounds like what you're doing, I don't know much about your program, but the way you described it, it sounds like you're really solving the root of the problem, which is up here. I mean, you got, why do people spend copious amounts of money, like what you said, Megan, financial stability, whatever you want to call it, right? Because they're depressed, because they have some kind of addiction, or keeping up with the Joneses, or some sort of insecurity. Why do people overeat? Depression, insecurity, exact same things. Why do people feel like they don't have any energy and not want to work out when they get home from work? Depression, pick something, right? Pick whatever it is. Why does some people struggle in some particular area? Addiction is a big one, right? Alcoholism, drugs, things like that. It's because there's some problem in their mind that needs to be fixed.
Absolutely.
And what's cool that you guys are doing is that you're solving the problem here and helping people to manifest that in their health, and in whatever financial or whatever other way you guys can help other people. So that's really cool that you're solving the problem. It's not just like telling people to do the insanity workout for 6 hours a day. It's
oh gosh, if it had that, I would not be here. I wouldn't have even signed up. But
I've like started, I've always had this feeling of being a fitness person, and I just, I like working out, but I don't like it, because it's tough, but I've grown into being a representation for that as well. Like, people, if you would ask somebody about me, they'd probably say, oh, you do all these crazy at-home workouts, and shout out to my good friend Tom Taylor in Vancouver. My trainer's in Vancouver, and he's
amazing. If y'all need a number of a remote
I
trainer,
think the thing that one thing that he taught me, and that inspiration, is work with what you got and be creative with it, because life is always going to hand you stuff. You got to get a little creative, and you got to kind of work with what you got and mold it, and make something of it, and the limitations I have with getting to a gym anyway, it's like, how can I take things at home to create the what I need? I'm not saying become everybody, don't become like this hermit that you can do it on your own. I still plug into him, even though I have to do stuff at home because I can't really drive anywhere. But we all need help. We need a coach. We need somebody, even our parents are our coaches, to not like on the program, but they're our coaches.
Right.
Our coaches for parenting, I'll tell you that.
Right, exactly. When we stop thinking that we can do it alone, or that we are alone, and we start to realize, like, hey, we have resources to plug in. Don't worry about the naysayers.
Yeah.
Plug into the people who are ready to help you go.
Absolutely.
Your family member, whoever, and get with it, and you can do it, and you can't do it by yourself. You can't.
Yeah.
we
Yep.
we fall into that why so much that we have so
Mhm.
many people that don't believe in us. Well, I'm just going to do it myself. No, we can do it
Yeah.
if we really search
Yeah,
out.
absolutely. And that's why I started doing this too. There's I can't point to someone and say like, not no offense to anybody if they think they fit this role, but I can't point to somebody and say, oh yeah, that person's my coach or that person is my, my leader and whoever, that person gives me great advice. I know for sure I don't really have that type of person. I mean, I have friends and I'll talk to people and stuff. But as far as like what you're saying, like that experienced person that can really help you and give you that advice, I know for me, I don't really have that. So that's why I wanted, this to be some kind of a community where people could come and hear people like you. And, even if you never meet them, maybe they'll hear this interview and they'll be inspired by you, or maybe they'll join your program, or maybe they'll, hear somebody talk about you guys so glowingly like I'm going to do, right? But that's super important because we can't do it ourselves, right?
Right. Right.
And I think we talked about this when I talked to you guys the other day. You'll look at somebody and all you see is their success stories, right? But you never see the failures behind it and all the people that helped them along the way. And there's no self-made millionaires and billionaires.
Mm-mm.
There's no self-made people.
No.
And for me, for years, I don't know how many years, I mean a long time, I always thought like, oh well, I can't do it by myself, so I must be broken. I must be not good enough, and I must not have that potential in me. And then you get older and you start looking behind the curtain. It's like, wait a minute, this person had like 15 different people, and that guy is like super rich and funded him, and that's how he got so successful. Or
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
her dad is a fitness guru, so that's how she's always in shape. And just whatever it is, just we're not products of our own abilities, and we can't be because we don't know everything, right?
Right.
And
Absolutely.
and I think the sooner you realize that truth, the better off you are, because then you can get the help you need, and you can, you know, I mean, well, I don't know, you guys might be more social than I am, but whenever you get married and start having kids and stuff, you can kind of close off from the world, and just focus on me, our family, our nap time, whatever. And I know for me, I kind of feel like I fell into that trap pretty hard.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh
and that's
yeah.
what I'm doing now is I'm getting out of that, right? Um, I'm becoming more social. I'm trying to talk to more people and get myself back to where I think I should be. So I mean, it's just great that it's great that you know that you've known it for a while. It seems like because you're talking pretty authoritatively on it, that you need help, and you've looked to people that can help you, and you've been able to get those people. And you've probably been that people. You've probably been. I'm gonna try to say this. You've probably been that person to other people as well, right?
We hope
And-
so.
yeah,
And it's great seeing the team that we have that's building below us, like the people who have entrusted, their health journey and then their business with us as their mentorship. Um, it's it's so humbling to become someone's health coach on this program, um, because I don't do it perfect myself. And that's what I tell all my clients. I'm not your food police. Like that is by far what I am. But what I
So
am is
just to give you
someone
some insight into how my mind works, I totally had a vision of you with like a siren hat on with a blue
thank
siren that
you. I
in
expect one of
people's
those in the
kitchens.
mail. Thank you. Yes. But this journey, it's a health journey. We do utilize components from our program, that help us to achieve our health goals. Okay. And I'm just somebody who has been on this longer than some, my clients. That's all I am. And I tell them that I'm like, I'm integrating you into a community. We're creating a tribe. Um, and whether that be people who are 5 steps ahead of you or 5 steps behind you, like we're all on the same journey
Right.
and we're here to help each other because someone's going to discover something about this health journey and mention it in a Facebook group or on a call or whatever. And you're going to be like, that's what I needed to hear,
Right.
you know?
That's good.
And even as the health coach on this journey, I haven't experienced everything. I have clients that have diabetes. I'm not a diabetic. So although I can coach the program for you and I kind of have an understanding of like how this program works for you, I don't know the emotions that go behind that.
Right.
You know, but there are people
But it
on this
doesn't make
journey who are.
it doesn't make you any less of a coach or
Yeah,
whatever your
right.
profession is. It doesn't make you any less. Like with me, I've been an analyst now for 2.5 years. And so we're paired where I prepare a review and then it's verified by somebody else. And so me and this woman she came in, I think she just made a year. So we kind of verify each other. And I would always used to be in this mindset that I've been here longer, so I know more.
Right.
But she has taught me so much, and it's just really really expanded my thinking that like it doesn't matter if we're there 5 years and they've been here 3 years, or if we only here 3 years and they've been here for 10 years. Like if we're all growing and all learning, we can all learn something from anyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. Something too, this happens, right?
Yep.
And the field of vision that you have is the collection of experiences from everything in your life, right? And sometimes, so I do controls work. I'm a controls engineer. And what helps me out a lot of times is I'll go ask the younger engineers or even someone who has no idea about controls, just, hey, what do you think about this? And then they might say something totally out of the box or something totally not even really applicable to what I'm doing. But the fresh perspective gives me a fresh perspective, and then me as a more experienced person, I can tie something together. Or maybe they'll just come up with something great, and it's like, yeah, my idea was kind of stupid, yours is better, let's do that. And then
But I definitely see what you're saying. I think sometimes, like even as a health coach, it's so easy for me to just say, hey, this is easy, come on, suck it up, buttercup,
right.
let's go, because I've been here for a while. And so it doesn't, I can't forget the feelings of my first time, on program, because when I'm talking with these clients who they have no understanding of what's going on yet, they haven't experienced this for 5 years. They're
Right.
going to give me a new perspective, and I'm going to be able to step back and be like, you're right. Like, that's pretty impressive what you're thinking of. But I'm so stuck in this. Yeah, I'm so stuck in my knowledge and my experience that sometimes you have to have somebody see it from the outside to say like, okay, but yeah, for somebody from the outside, this doesn't make sense.
Right.
So if this is going to be for everybody, then somebody, you need to be able to see it from every perspective. So.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right. So we're right at an hour. You guys got time for 2 more? Or y'all want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
YOLO, right? We're still young.
Yeah, this is our party hour.
Yeah, in the closet, right?
I'm social by any means, because
Nor don't think that he's a night owl by any means.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so if you were to give younger Megan and or younger Jared a piece of advice from your experience now that you have, what would that be?
I think for me is don't be afraid to look out of just like the 9 to 5 or this set career. When we first started, coaching, I was like, what? No, this is not, no way. This is not going to work. What do you, whatever.
Right.
But also when I was discerning leaving the TV news station, I was like, I don't know if I want to do graphics anymore. And so I asked my parents, I said, I don't know, what if I get another job that doesn't have to do with graphics, that I got a degree in graphic art, and they're like, you went to college, you got an education.
Right.
Okay. You find, so I think it opened the horizon of having a 40-year career is great. Having different careers throughout your life is great.
Yep.
And it not fitting into this one category. Don't fit yourself into one category. When you feel that passion for something, go after it, whether it's
Go for it.
a job that's a 9 to 5, whether it's a job that's shift work, whether it's a job that just has no hours and you do your own boss. Some people don't want to be their own boss. Some people want to go, like for me, I'd rather work from home, but I talk to people who are like, I want to go to the office. I need to get to the office. Like that is my way to do things
Right.
and excel that passion. So not limiting myself to just this, but to just be open.
Yeah, that's good, man.
So what I would say to younger Megan, well, there's a lot of things that I would say to her, but pertaining to this,
There was this
Right.
cute, handsome guy down the line, and you're,
oh gosh. I think the first thing that younger Megan needed to know is that being a stay-at-home mom doesn't mean that I'm at home playing with my kids all day. And not that that's bad. Like there's a lot of beauty in that. But that there's a lot of discipline and there's a lot of, it's exhausting. And the reality is, if when you experience being a stay-at-home mom, you realize that, like you said, your job never ends. It doesn't, you can't shut off being a mom. Your kids they just need mom. A lot of times we talk about this with him. Like, he's like, I try to take, a little bit off for you, but like, they don't want me, he's like, they want you. So it can be very exhausting, but it's not just about like this glorious thing of just staying home and playing with your kids all day.
Right.
But that I can run a business. I can be a
That's
freaking
good.
mom boss. Like I can, that I'm fully capable of this. And that that I need to just suck it up and grow up now so that, older Megan or 2020 Megan, she has these skills earlier on. I feel like I've really had to build some skills in the past 5 years that I realized I probably could have had a little earlier in life. But I took a little while to grow up. So I would just tell her to
Been 35 years for me, Megan.
like it's I know I'm hitting 35 next month and I'm like,
Oh, what day?
I'm glad you're willing to admit
January 15th.
I'm the 23rd.
Oh, look at that.
All right. Just
Not
missed you.
quite a year older than me, huh? But yeah, I think it's just, I just took too long to really discover that I could be someone great,
Right. And something else too, it's never too late. It's,
Absolutely.
just because you didn't start when you were 21 or whatever, like somebody else might have, maybe it just, God works everything out, right? Maybe it just took you, that much longer to mature, to get to the point where you were able to do what you're doing now. Like I said, it's taken me quite a long time as well. Some of us are late bloomers.
This is
right?
the best time. Like I find that everyone used to say like your 30s are the greatest, your 30s are the greatest. And you're like, when you're in your 20s, you're like, whatever. Like you're just trying to prove to yourself as a 30-year-old that like life is still good, right? But oh my gosh, 30s are the best. Like they really are. It's great to be having kids in my 30s too. Like, I don't know. It's
Okay. That's probably really encouraging to somebody who thinks 30 is old, right?
Right. I don't want to meet that person.
I hear you. All right. So kind of 1.5 more questions. Okay. So what are you going to do what is your next step to take your business to the next level?
For us, the next thing that we want to, I guess, put into our business is really continuing to build our team. It is wrong of us to hold this to ourselves. It is wrong of us to see what we have, what we've been able to build, that this business has been able to give our family so much financial freedom and just freedom in general, that it's just wrong of us to keep it to ourselves.
Yeah.
So we love to bring on new coaches, people who are desiring to help others, but also people who are really looking for some financial freedom. Like the reality is, like you said, you know, money is here. It's how the world turns. We can have great, wonderful lives. Um, but in order to be able to kind of fund our family, like you got to be able to purchase stuff. It's just how the world is. And so what we like is being able to have that financial freedom, and we want to be able to give that to other
Yeah.
people. And so we're
Yeah.
constantly just looking for people who are interested. It doesn't have to be someone who has this, you know, glorious physical transformation on our program. We know tons of coaches who have come in, they're not looking for a physical transformation, but they just want in on the business. So
Yeah.
we are definitely, that's one of our big things, is we just want to continue giving this on to other people.
Yeah.
Um, so
Absolutely. I mean, it's, I definitely feel that, with, for me, my thing's precious metals, silver and gold, right? And, same thing for me, especially the way the world is. And, I'm sure you guys have heard, all the stimulus talks with the government that they're talking about now. And, we're $27 trillion in debt. That's zeros, like literally this, that long, right?
yeah.
I really truly believe people are going to need silver and gold to be able to just survive in the future, not only just for financial health and
Oh yeah.
soundness now, but we're going to need some like soon, like I think
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot sooner than we think. So yeah, I mean, same thing. I feel the exact same way. It's wrong of me to hold this back, and it's wrong of me that I found a way to secure my family's financial future. So I'm almost morally obligated to tell other people about it, right? So that being said, if someone wanted to get you as their health coach, what is the best way to contact you and get on board with you guys?
So honestly, through social media, easily on Facebook. I get a lot of messages through Facebook, people just asking like, hey, I'd love to hear more about your program. And what we do is set up a phone call. Um, this this type of like program deserves a good phone call. Like, I am doing you a disservice. I have so many people who are like, no, just give me the information, give me your website. But it's like, I'm doing you a disservice by not hearing your heart and like listening to
Yeah,
you and getting and
100%
awakening
agree.
you to what you want. And when I look back to who I was before this, there was no way I even knew what I wanted. I didn't know what health was. What I thought was healthy, I realize now was not actually helping me get to my goals at all. Um, so I needed to be awakened. I needed my health coach to sit down and like talk me through some things. Um, and so if anyone is interested in just hearing more about the program, hearing about my transformation, um, you know, losing the weight that I did, improving my overall
Like two or
health.
three times too, right?
Yeah, getting pregnant with twins, I gained 110 pounds being pregnant with those twins.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And I thought with my son, I was like, surely it's just one child. I couldn't possibly gain that
It
much.
should
I
only be
gained
50 at the most, right?
Right. And I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to work out while I'm pregnant. I'm going to be super cute. Like, no, I gained 90 pounds with my son. And that was with working out most of the
Oh
time.
my gosh.
Yeah. I just plump up, and my kids have
Yeah, I mean that's
they're just going to be super geniuses, because the more fat it builds their brains. Like,
We
that's what builds the
we
child's
joked that
brain.
she was like the supermoon with
Yeah, I was. There was a super moon when I was pregnant with the twins. So yeah,
but I think one
but
thing to say, like, reach out to Megan if on social media, if interested on talking about your goals, because the thing is this: if somebody were to call her today and say, all right, here's my card, I don't care what it is, let's just do it, Megan would be like, I'm not doing that. We're going to talk
right.
first. We're going to see what your goals are. I want you to really understand where you're going, because if you don't know where you're going to go, then you have no way of getting there.
Right.
You know, you're just going to train wreck.
Well,
And I
plus,
think,
like you talked about too, you have to, especially you as a coach and as someone who's trying to get someone to their health goal, you have to know what problem you're solving. You have to get that insight into the mental problem, right? Like what is,
Yeah.
is it depression? Is it, addiction? Is it, some insecurity, is it, whatever that is. And it's really hard to do that without talking to somebody, right?
Right. Also, it is wrong of me to just throw someone on our, most popular, say, weight loss plan that we have or something. If they are diabetic, if they are a nursing mom, if they are a senior citizen, a teenager, we have plans for everyone. It is wrong of me to just tell a nursing mom that she needs to be on this plan, or just if she just starts throwing money at me. Whoa. Like, I need to know what we're working with here. Oh, you're a nursing mom. Great.
Right.
This plan is not for you, which is another reason why we're like, don't just run to the website, because it's not going to tell you those things.
That's good.
That's for me to talk with you about. And then I can put you on the right plan that's going to help you get to your goals with your health consideration that might be at
Right.
hand. So.
It all ties down to, you ever heard of the 7 levels of why?
Heard of it, haven't
Like
really
peeling
explored
an
it.
onion. It's where, when somebody reaches out, they may say things that don't seem like they really care as much, but actions speak louder than words. And there's always a deeper reason, a deeper level that we try to peel back, and because we'll, oh, well, why do you want to get healthy? Why do you want to get healthy? Because I want to be here for my grandkids. Well, why do you want to be here for your grandkids?
Right.
And it keeps going deeper, so.
Yeah. And I'm really glad you said that too, Megan, because that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you guys, is because I know you're people with integrity, and I know you love your family, and you can't really love your family without integrity. And so I know if people come to you, that they're going to get they're not going to get someone who just wants their money and is just going to give them some generic I don't know, blanket solution, whatever you want to call it. They're going to get somebody like you that actually wants to help people and actually wants to take care of people. So I'm glad you said that, and I'm glad you that's your thinking too, because there's a lot of people that are the opposite. They just want the money. Everybody's just a number. They're just I don't know, a stepping stone to a greater goal, whatever you want to call it. And I know you guys aren't going to do that to people. So, and I very much applaud you for that, because in the business world, business doesn't care about people. Business is just green, doesn't see, color, height, weight, religion, whatever. It just says money, no money. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, people like us, we care about people, and I know y'all care about people. And I think it's just really cool that you found something to do, that you can use your passion to help other people, and that caring, heart, and that caring personality that God gave you. And Jared, it's cool for you because you get to support her in that, and by proxy, you're doing that as well. And not to say that you don't, care about your own people or anything like that. But it's just cool to see that y'all get to do that together. So props to you guys, and good for you guys stepping out, making that decision to make your own business, to do your own thing. Again, that you guys are the people that I want really everyone to be like, and everyone to have their own home-based business, and to do it well, and to do it with integrity, and to care about people. So hats off to you. And I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up, but I at least wanted to tell you that I'm proud of you guys, and y'all are an inspiration to me, and I know a lot of other people. So keep doing what you're doing, and just keep at it.
Thank you.
I mean, I think
Same
we
to
feel
you,
likewise,
yeah.
like we're I know I haven't known you very long, but just seeing what you're doing, like, and hearing about what you're doing, and with the KingGold page, like that, it takes a lot of tenacity, and I think that is inspiring as well, so appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys, and I'll definitely have you guys on again, because I know there's a lot more we can talk about.
Yeah,
I'm
it's another hour,
right, right. Yep. So all right, well, y'all have a good night, and I'll let y'all get out of your closet and go get some sleep before the kids wake up.
Awesome. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right,
Bye.
bye.